the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
Tonight, a plan in motion to improve safety in downtown Indianapolis. As the mayor outlined, more than $750,000 will be allocated to address ongoing problems, including crime and homelessness, problems which downtown business owners and residents say are big hurdles. Part of the plan includes more security cameras and more police patrols. But is that enough? Tonight, we look at the deeper issues affecting downtown.
WRTV's Cornelius Hawker spoke with the head of a nonprofit playing a key role in finding solutions to make the core of the Circle City an appealing and safe place to be.
If you ask some people, downtown Indianapolis has seen better days. But Downtown Indy Inc., with help from the city and police department, are trying to change that. I talked to Sherry Syward, executive director for Downtown Indy Inc., who tells me the overwhelming issue people want to see addressed.
Safety was their number one concern because without the density that we're accustomed to in downtown from the workforce as well as convention goers, it feels vacant.
Empty streets mean more chances for bad things to happen. It's gotten so bad in front of City Market, they've put up this temporary barrier to try and curb some of the less than desired activity going on, whether that's fighting, using drugs, or even littering. Right now, Downtown Indy Inc. pays for off-duty police officers to patrol downtown. Those patrols are going to increase.
We're going to quadruple the number of hours and by adding more off-duty officers on bikes.
But with all this focus on safety, Sherry doesn't want people to think they're trying to criminalize folks who live on the streets. In fact, she says there's around $7.5 million coming that'll help house 500 people.
With that rapid rehousing, that will allow homeless folks to be housed for up to 24 months.
Omari Heflin, who lives and works downtown, says he's happy to hear about these proposed changes in regards to safety and treating those experiencing homelessness with compassion.
Providing different resources, opportunities, housing, shelter, ways for them to work, different things like that to keep them busy.
Omari believes a balanced approach to solving the issues in downtown is what will provide a lasting change.
If you want to increase foot traffic or bikes or police officers, that's fine. But what is the result of that actually being there? Are more people just going to get locked up, or are people actually going to get help?
That's the balancing act Sherry is doing right now, addressing the immediate safety issues and concerns, hoping this is another step in creating a better downtown for everyone. Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, WRTV.
Downtown Indy Inc. also plans to add 150 security cameras around downtown, along with creating a safety patrol program. That program includes a team of unarmed people to help with issues that may arise. They would also radio IMPD for help if police are needed.
People in Indiana will get extra unemployment benefits, although it could take up to a month for the payments to start. At today's weekly briefing, state officials announced Indiana will join a federal program that provides an extra $300 a week in unemployment benefits. The payments will be retroactive to August 1st, according to the governor. The additional payment will more than double Indiana's average weekly unemployment payment of $280. And here's what the Department of Workforce Development says about eligibility.
In terms of whether or not these benefits would be available for those individuals who are receiving PUA and the other federal fundings for unemployment insurance, they are eligible. Again, the eligibility requirements are that individuals must be eligible in receiving at least $100 in weekly benefits under approved UI programs. That includes their state programs as well as the federal programs.
The Department of Workforce Development is working on making adjustments to process the new benefits. This program is run by the Federal Emergency Management Agency. FEMA has said the additional funding may last 5 or 6 weeks, depending on how many states participate. And WRTV continues to bring you the governor's answers to questions about absentee voting in the November election. He shared this message today.
A vast majority of folks that I hear from want to vote actually in person, and thankfully we had a Exhibit A, the primary election, where we proved that we could do it safely. So we've seen this unfold before recently, and that was when we were contemplating and coming off the heels of a stay-at-home order.
No excuse mail-in voting was allowed for the Indiana primary due to the pandemic and that stay-at-home order. The Secretary of State's office tells WRTV as of last Thursday, more than 37,000 absentee ballots have been requested. Around the same time in 2016, there were 109 requests.
Also at the briefing this afternoon, the health commissioner announced the state is working on a school data dashboard. The public information would list COVID cases in schools. The goal is to have it up and running sometime next month. Right now, your child's school does not have to tell you about positive COVID-19 cases. WRT Investigates has learned the state only requires your school notify families that are directly impacted and need to quarantine. Jolene Taufik's daughter is attending in-person classes at Douglas MacArthur Elementary in Perry Township. Jolene has health issues, but her daughter has special needs and benefits from in-person services. While Perry Township takes communication a step further by notifying parents and staff about positive cases within that school building, Jolene and other parents are pushing for even more transparency.
If we hear about these numbers through the grapevine, I think more panic sets in than them being transparent. Some parents might disagree, because I've seen some disagree, saying they don't want to hear and that people hear more numbers and they panic. And I do understand that concern as well, but I still think it's important because we're trying to know, we're trying to keep our community safe.
The notification system can be confusing as parents across central Indiana are getting varying bits of information depending on how much their school district chooses to share. According to the latest update from the State Department of Health, 506 new positive cases of COVID-19 were reported statewide between August 10th and yesterday. The 7-day positivity rate between August 6th and the 12th was 7.7%, and 2,968 people in Indiana have died from the virus.
New at 11, an Indianapolis mother took center stage tonight at the Democratic National Convention.
My son DeAndre was only 13 years old. He was recognized as a gifted and talented student. His possibilities were endless. He was dancing at a birthday party when he was shot in the back left side of his head, shattering his skull. One shot changed our lives forever.
And Deandra Dykes founded the group Purpose for My Pain after her son was shot in 2014. The injury left him paralyzed and unable to speak. She used her time in the national spotlight this evening to share a message about gun violence and endorse Joe Biden.
I want a president who cares about our pain and grief. A president who will take on the gun lobby to ban assault weapons and close the loopholes to keep guns out of the hands of criminals. Joe Biden has taken on the NRA twice and won, and he will do it again as president.
Dykes tells WRTV DNC organizers reached out to her through the organization Every Town for Gun Safety.
Well, night 3 of the convention featured Hillary Clinton, Elizabeth Warren, and former President Barack Obama. But ABC's Irene Shaw reports all eyes were on Kamala Harris.
California Senator Kamala Harris making history as the first black woman and Asian American to be nominated to a major party's presidential ticket.
When we vote, things change. When we vote, things get better. When we vote, we address the need for all people to be treated with dignity and respect in our country.
On the third night of the Democratic National Convention, the DNC highlighting black women who introduced Harris throughout her campaign and speeches where she touched on women's rights, ending mass incarceration, and advocating for the voiceless.
We see them and we hear them and that they matter.
Former President Barack Obama, who also once shared the ticket with Joe Biden, with a searing critique of his successor.
For close to 4 years now, he has shown no interest in putting in the work. No interest in finding common ground, no interest in using the awesome power of his office to help anyone but himself and his friends. No interest in treating the presidency as anything but one more reality show that he can use to get the attention he craves.
President Trump reacting to excerpts of that speech even before it aired.
When I look at what we have, and I look at how bad he was, how ineffective a president he was so ineffective, so terrible.
Hillary Clinton, the woman who lost to Trump, urging Americans to come out this election.
If you vote by mail, request your ballot now and send it back right away. If you vote in person, do it early.
Other women making a case for the Democratic ticket at tonight's virtual convention included former Representative Gabrielle Giffords, who spent months practicing her remarks for this moment.
America needs all of us to speak out, even when you have to fight to find the words.
And Senator Elizabeth Warren looking to generate excitement from the left wing of her party.
Our economic system has been rigged to give bailouts to billionaires and kick dirt in the face of everyone else.
We found out tonight that Barack Obama was initially slated to be the last speaker, but he wanted Kamala Harris to have the last word to symbolically pass on the baton to her. Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Wilmington.
Humidity pretty much a non-factor for us right now. It will increase this weekend and temperatures will follow. I'll let you know when those highs will get close to 90 degrees.
And coming up, remote learning is not easing the burden on teachers when it comes to buying school supplies. Why some are actually spending more money and how you can help.
Saving us money and it's teaching them lessons. It's really been kind of refreshing.
And next year on WRTV, how the pandemic is prompting some families to leave their homes behind and live on the open road.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
Welcome back. The RV industry appears to be benefiting from the pandemic. One company reported a more than 1,000% increase in rentals over the summer. But Scripps reporter Alicia Nieves found the trend may not be going anywhere as we move into fall.
Taking to the open road in an RV has been one of the most popular ways to vacation this summer. But soon, it could be a more common place families call home.
I think it's difficult for families to be cooped up.
Julia Partridge was already considering making the switch to RV life before the pandemic, but after 5 months of social distancing and self-quarantining in her home, she decided to finally do it. Sell the family home, hit the road to live, homeschool her kids, and work from an RV.
Obviously, our camper is much smaller than our house, substantially smaller, but you have so much less stuff and you have this vast open world available to you. You feel less cooped up in the camper than you do in this 3,000 square foot house.
She feels the move to full-time RV life this fall will also give her kids a unique educational opportunity.
We really want to see like the national parks. I want my kids to do like the park ranger program. I want to use that as their science and their social studies curriculum from the road. So we're really excited about those parts.
The Partridge family is just one of many families either committing to or considering RV life in the fall, according to a survey done by the RV rental company RV Share.
We have, from our survey, seen that over 30% of people are considering homeschooling from the road, and over 40% of people are considering working from the road. And that's something that is new to the RV industry.
John Gray is the CEO of RV Share.
You have schools not opening on time. You have a lot of employers moving to work from anywhere models for the extended future. And those things have made it to where RVs are more appealing deep into the fall.
The pandemic has changed so much in our lives. Many people are looking to get away from the uncertainty and continued concern with it. This seems to be one way for some to do that.
It's saving us money and it's teaching them lessons. It's really been kind of refreshing.
I'm Alicia Nieves reporting.
New at 11, students will be getting some extra support as classes get underway thanks to a local Eagle Scout. Kevin Wang is a junior at Carmel High School. For his Eagle project, he collected enough school supplies to fill 15 boxes. He and fellow scouts also wrote 800 notes of encouragement for students. He dropped off the donations at Avondale Meadows Middle School this afternoon.
My initial goal was to have a collection of 400 items. But in the end, I managed to reach 773, so almost double. So I would like to say a thank you to everyone in the community and in my troop who, for the generous donation. This would not have been possible without their support.
Kevin also built 3 bookshelves. He hopes his project encourages other members of the community to give back even during this difficult time.
And now for a look at our forecast with meteorologist Kyle Mounts. Kyle, it was just so perfect today. I wish we could have that day over and over and over again.
Yeah, probably a top 10 day of the year here. That lower humidity temperature topped out right at 80 degrees in Indianapolis this afternoon. Now sits at 70, but many locations are quite a bit cooler than that. Lower 60s already with those clear skies in Kokomo and Bloomington as the wind has gone pretty calm. And with those clear skies, temperatures will again fall back into the middle and in some cases lower 50s tomorrow morning. Might need that jacket or just an extra little jog to the car there. 54 in Lafayette, 57 degrees for you tomorrow morning in the Indianapolis area and 53 in Richmond. We are going to see a lot of sunshine. So again, tomorrow you're going to need the sunglasses. No need for that umbrella. Temperatures will start to warm pretty quickly. We're back into the 70s here at 11 a.m. Your lunchtime temperature at 75. And again, the wind will be fairly light for us here as temperatures make their way into the lower 80s for that afternoon high. So not everybody got into the 80s today. I think we'll see that a little more widespread going into our Thursday afternoon. 81 in Rushville, 82 in Rockville, and Columbus coming in at 82 degrees for you. So a little closer to average for this time of year. On Friday, we are going to introduce more clouds into the forecast here and temperatures that will be once again a little bit warmer. Already middle 70s here before noon, and then as we get into the second half of the day, lower to middle 80s with those cloudy skies. And we can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm heading into the afternoon and evening. But you notice on TrueCast, this is Friday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Most of us are just seeing a few more clouds across the area. I think if we see any of these isolated showers, it'll really be from around Bloomington, Rushville areas to the southeast. You kind of see those bubble up, but then as we lose that daytime heating, they will fade away. So we'll call for only about a 20% chance of a shower here in southern locations on Friday. We'll increase that to about 30% area wide for Saturday, and then Sunday a 20% chance of rain. So no washouts there in the forecast by any means. As we do look at the weekend forecast, we'll have a high temperature of 83 out there on Saturday, a little more humid. And for race day right now, I think we will be pretty good chances here anyway of staying dry with those highs in the middle 80s. 7-day planning forecast now as we put it all together for you, and we've got those small rain chances with comfortable temperatures here as we go through the end of the week and the weekend. Then as we get into next week, we take away any of those rain chances, but the heat will build here along with that humidity. And yeah, it is still August. We're talking about those temperatures approaching 90 degrees here as we get to Tuesday and Wednesday. And with that humidity, it'll feel a little bit hotter. Mark?
All right, Kyle, thank you for that. And the 104th running of the Indianapolis 500 will happen on Sunday without fans in the stands. Of course, that will impact IMS and local businesses, but the change is also impacting nonprofit organizations. The Speedway Lions Club usually makes thousands of dollars on race week, parking cars in the Coke lot. It's the organization's biggest fundraiser. Vincent Noblet, a member of the board of directors, says the money allows the group to serve the community throughout the year.
It affects every program from internationally, cancer control, the eye bank, leader dogs for the blind. It affects how many scholarships will be given away to the high school students.
To help make up for the loss, the Exchange Club of Speedway has set up a donation section on their website. Money will be distributed to organizations in need. We do have a link in this story in the WRTV app.
And whether classes are completely virtual, in person, or a mix, teachers are still spending money on supplies. According to a survey by adoptaclassroom.org, many teachers have spent about a third of their school supply expenses on distance learning materials.
They're actually spending more. 70% of the teachers we surveyed said that they have delivered supplies to students' homes, either by bringing them personally or by mailing assignments with supplies.
And those supplies include things like printers, ink, paper, envelopes, boxes, and storage. Many students may not have access to computers and internet. Even in schools where classes are being held in person, Adopt a Classroom expects teachers to spend more money on supplies.
In a normal elementary classroom, there's a basket of pens and papers and crayons and scissors on a table, and groups of students share those supplies to do projects. They're not going to be able to do that this year.
Adopt a Classroom started in 1998. You can donate directly to a teacher's classroom, a specific school, or make a general donation. For more info, go to adoptaclassroom.org.
from the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
The NFL season is scheduled to kick off in less than a month. Whether that actually happens as scheduled remains to be seen. But the Colts continue to prepare, and expectations for the team are growing. Brad Brown has the latest tonight from training camp.
A lot of things are different about Colts training camp this summer, but what does remain consistent is the energy and excitement of a team preparing for what they think could be a very big season.
You know, you get out on the football field, and that's where we want to be. I mean, that's where we make our bread and butter. That's where we love being. We love, you know, these guys are ball players. We're coaches. You love competing. You know that every part of the preparation is important. The meetings, the lifting, nutrition, every aspect of it is all part of the process, and it's fun in its own right, but there's nothing like being on a football field.
The addition of quarterback Phillip Rivers has clearly changed the dynamic of the Colts offense. The 38-year-old has spent the past several weeks getting acclimated with his new teammates, and it seems to be going quite well.
Being at a new place, in a new environment, new teammates, going against a different defense in practice every day, that certainly probably has, kicks it up a little bit, at least early in camp. But I do enjoy competing. I think that would be on the short list of the reasons why you still play, is just that love to compete. And, I think we're off to a good start. It hasn't felt like the fifth day of practice.
The defense has gotten some new leverage as well. DeForest Buckner is getting all-pro level buzz as he gets set to make his Colts debut.
Every year I come in and I play with a chip on my shoulder. You know what I mean? Even if the recognition doesn't come, I let my play, speak for itself. I put up the numbers over the past couple of years, and I do believe I'm slept on, and it's all good. I mean, it just fuels a fire for me.
With less than a month until the season is supposed to begin, the real work is just beginning.
Every single play, you got to go in with a focus and a mentality in order to be able to perform at a high level. Once that play is over, you just think about how much fun you had on that last play, and then when the next play rolls around, it's time to lock back in again.
The Colts are holding all of training camp at the team facility. They will be having 2 practices next week at Lucas Oil Stadium on Monday and Saturday. A chance for the newcomers to get a feel for the home field. Those workouts will not be open to the public. Brad Brown, WRTV Sports.
The pandemic has forced the cancellation of some Indy 500 traditions, but not this one. The Indianapolis Zoo hosted the 41st annual Zoopolis 500 today. 4 tortoises, given the names of IndyCar drivers, competed in the slowest spectacle in racing. James beat Simon, Ed, and Elio. Instead of sipping milk, though, the winning tortoise enjoyed a fruit salad victory meal. Tasty.
Looks pretty good. This looks good too. The forecast tomorrow, 58 degrees as you head out the door. We got a lot of sunshine in that Thursday forecast. Temperatures that will top out around 80 degrees. It starts to warm up a little bit this weekend.
Have a good night, everybody.